This is my brand new Harley Davidson Sportster S. Now look guys, without ignoring the elephant in the room, right? Riding could be dangerous. It could be very, very dangerous.
Look at the sky.
Pretty bad.
I wish that I could stay here for life. I wish that I could stay here. Baby, look at the sky. The moon shining bright tonight. I wish that I could stay here for life. I wish that I could stay here.
Alright, so boom, look. If you're a long-time viewer of this channel, you already know this. But if you're not, lock in. Listen, I created this YouTube channel to share this thing called life, right? The different experiences that I go through, business, whatever. I share with you guys. I tell you, this is what I did and this is how it turned out. Now, most of those things turn out good. Most of them just turn out not so great. And today's video is, we're going to be talking about one of those things that I did that didn't end up turning out as great as the rest. But look, now the last video that I posted about a month ago, I was telling you guys how it's a good idea to get a motorcycle, right? I was telling you guys, hop on a motorcycle, man. You need to hop on a motorcycle. I was trying to recruit you guys. And now I'm coming on here with a different perspective. What I'm going to be sharing is based off my point of view, what I've experienced going down this route, right? So take it with a grain of salt, pick out what's important to you and leave the rest. Let me get into a story, right? So it's a cool, calm evening, you know what I'm saying? I should probably illustrate how it all went down. Let me show you how it all went down. It was a Saturday, of course. You know, let me go for a little cruise, you know? Say, a little cruise never had nobody. It's getting dark though, right? So I go see my little sunset. After the sunset, the sun has gone down. Mistake number one, riding at night. Sun has gone down. I'm like, you know what? Let me go back home. Now, on my way back home, I remember I had like one of those like 2000 songs playing in my headphones. And let's assume this little bastard is me, right? On the motorcycle, right? Boom. The car was a Jeep, some Jeep SUV. Now, let me break down the situation for you. It's a one-way street. All the cars are going in this direction, right? So boom, it's a one-way street. This is the intersection. You know, all of us know what an intersection is. There's a road going this way and this road is going this way. This is where they meet, in the intersection. Now look, right? We have just come off a light and we're both going, right? And we all know if you ride motorcycles, you know, try to avoid staying in the car's blind spot, right? We all know that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me speed up. Mind you, we're not even going fast speed. I'm getting out of this young man's blind spot, right? I speed up to get out of his blind spot, right? Mind you, I'm not going that fast. I don't want you guys to say I was speeding, right? And I'm in the left lane. So we're going. So as I get somewhere like here, homeboy decides, you know what? I think I've missed my turn. Mind you, I'm already in the left lane. Right? Homeboy decides, oh my God, I missed my turn. He was on his phone the whole time. He turned out to be a really cool guy though, honestly. I'm not gonna blame him. He was just distracted. He was just on his phone. So we're gonna call him Dickhead. Dickhead was on Okay, let's call him Mike. Mike was on his phone, right? And he missed his turn. He was supposed to turn this way. And to turn this way, you have to be in this lane, right? So as I'm speeding up to get out of his blind spot, he remembers that he had to turn. So middle of the intersection, boom, rocks my shit. I fall off into oncoming traffic. Thank God I had my gear on, right? I had my gear on, but still, boom, rocks my shit. And that's how we ended up here. Situation, this is how it played out. Bang. Right? Bang. Decides. Bang. That's all it takes. And it happened so fast that I didn't even get time to react to it. That's how fast it happens. Who turns in? I'm not even gonna get into it, but that's how it happened. That's how I ended up in the situation that I'm in. Now look. Riding motorcycles is dangerous. This is not something that's new. This is not news. You know what I'm saying? We all know someone that knows someone that died on a motorcycle. People, as long as you bring it up to people that you ride a motorcycle, they don't hesitate to tell you how their friend's cousin died on a motorcycle. Their friends, like we all know that, right? I've learned to really understand when people say treat riding motorcycles like an extreme sport. It makes sense now, right? Because these cars are out here to get you. These Tesla drivers they don't give a fuck, right? They'll merge into your lane and they see you there. They'll merge into your lane. Like these people out here on their phones just don't care. So anytime you decide to swing your leg over any motorcycle to ride in the streets, just know chances are, if you're not careful, if you get too comfortable, you're not gonna make it home in one piece. Just imagine you're minding your business. Next thing you know, the car that you're going past is turning into you, bro. Like you can't do anything. You can unless you're the Flash. I ended up getting some deep cuts on my legs, on my right leg, because the car hit right on my leg, right? Ended up getting some deep cuts and my fingers scraped. Although I had gloves on, mistake number 3, I'm gonna get into it. Although I had gloves on, my fingers were locked down by the bike when it went down, ended up scraping. I'm so thankful to God that I was able to walk away from that with no broken bones. First off, and another thing, bro, they called the ambulance. Damn boys told me $1,500 just to get me to the hospital, bro. You can imagine the hospital is like, what, 8 minutes away? 1,500 just to get me to the hospital. I said, hell no, bro. I'm good, bro. So, as I told you guys, the guy turned out to be a cool dude, bro. He just called his mom, took me to the hospital. But look, we're not going to get into too much of that. I said I had to say, and I thank God I was able to walk away from it. I could still walk, right? Could hit the nene. Okay, so boom, these are the gloves that I had on. Thank God that I had these gloves on because it would have been way worse. That was really helpful. It helped me protect my knuckles. But because these were summer gloves, they have leather on here, but they don't have leather on the inside. As you can see there. This is like a cloth, like a neat, like a mesh type of thing, right? When it scraped, it just went over to the cloth type of thing. That's how I ended up messing up my fingers. But these are good gloves, but they're not good enough. And what I recommend too is get the gloves that have the pinky protection thing right over here, right? Where it joins these two fingers. Because if I had that, my pinky wouldn't have been as bad. Because you guys, you were able to see my bones for both of these fingers. You would see the bones. You could see the bones. So you could, I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was crazy. They almost took me in for surgery, but I didn't end up needing surgery. Thank God. If you're still riding, make sure you get some good protective gloves that have a pinky protection because all those other gloves are not going to save you. The crash happened under 30 miles. We're not even speedy. Now, imagine if we were going fast. Pinkies would have been off. I would have been a 9-finger type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So, like I explained in my last video, there's a lot of benefits to riding a motorcycle, but it comes with very high risks if you're not careful. To most people, that's a risk they're willing to take. What I'm trying to say is that if you're under the age of 30, the choices we make, right, and the risks we allow to take on should be picked very, very carefully. Because that small, it was a small accident. Like, there was no fatalities or anything. I mean, there was a lot of damage, but that accident could have changed my life forever, right? It could have changed my life completely forever. Like, I would have been paralyzed and I wouldn't have been able to walk. I would have been in a wheelchair. That changes my whole perspective. That changes my future. Right? In that moment, right, like that, my whole life would have changed. Right? I would have been a wheelchair type of person now. Nothing against wheelchair people, because I'm guessing they didn't choose that life, right? So what I'm trying to say is that the choices we make when we're still young are very, very important. I'm sure most of you guys already know this. And because of that, me personally, I don't think, this is my opinion, guys. This is my opinion. I don't think if you're under the age of 30, I don't think you should be riding motorcycles. Why do I say this? Let me land. Why do I say this? If you have certain goals you want to achieve, right? If there's somewhere you want to be in life, right? You should assess your risks very carefully. What do I mean by this? We know getting on a motorcycle is a big risk, right? If you have certain dreams you want to achieve, there are certain types of risks you want to avoid because you're not yet where you want to be. And because of that specific reason, I think I'm gonna wait to get back on motorcycles for a couple of years. Now, am I gonna quit? No, I can't go back. Like once you experience what it's like to ride a motorcycle, for real, you don't want to go back. You know what I'm saying? So at some point where I've achieved certain goals of mine, I'll definitely get back on the motorcycle. But for now, and learn to take your ego out of something. Realize when you're wrong and be like, okay, that was a bad choice of mine. I'm willing to go in a different direction, right? Because that helps you mature as a human, mature as a grown-up person. You'd be like, okay, that was a bad decision. That was a bad choice, right? And I had people in my life too talk to me. They're like, oh, I don't think. And I looked at things too. I'm like, you know what? I have some things I want to achieve, and I cannot risk my life like that before I achieve these things. Now, to you, me be like, I'm good. I can still ride, and I have nothing against that, right? But if you're under a certain age, consider your choices. I may be yapping a little bit, but I hope you guys are able to pick out what I'm trying to say, right? For those that are riding, man, keep riding. Enjoy it. Getting on a motorcycle is one of the most fun and freeing things. I would definitely get on a motorcycle again, but I feel like right now I have a lot of things that I have to accomplish in my life, and some people depending on me for me to be on a motorcycle. So I'll wait a little bit for that, right? But guys, just know, when people say when I get rich there will be a sign. Guys, if you see me hopping back on a motorcycle, just know the bankroll. Just know the money's coming in, you know what I'm saying? But look, there will be signs. That will be your sign, guys. The content is gonna switch up a little bit, right? When the crash happened, I had enough time to think about my content, where I want to take it, right? Before I had kind of gotten a little bit lazy with the content. Like I wasn't putting in as much effort as I really could have been putting in. So that's gonna change a little bit with the channel moving forward. And I appreciate every single one of you guys that taps on these videos and watches them. But yeah, man, thank you guys for hanging around and stay around. Watch out, I'm gonna make another video on something that's very important too. So lock in, be part of the loop, don't miss out. I'll see you on the other side. Peace out, love and blessings.
Baby, look at the sky, the moon shining bright tonight. I wish that I could stay here for life. I wish that I could stay here, stay here, stay here. I wish that I could stay here, stay here, stay here. Baby girl, I wish that I could stay here.